So today is a little bit of Q&A. That's the question and answer with me, George Moorhead with Bentley Properties. And the real question that a lot of people are having is it even possible? Is it even remotely possible that it is a seller's market? Well, we're going to go over that. We've got 6 different questions. We polled, or actually, we took all of the questions that we were asked. We looked for the 6 most common, and we're going to give them to you today. So, with that, make sure that you subscribe because we do go through a weekly market update so you get it in real time. This way, you don't have to wait 30, 60, 90 days for other reporting agencies, and you can make the best business decision for you and your family. It's free. There's no cost. There's no marketing that happens. You're never going to get spammed or whatnot. So make sure you subscribe, share the link. Let us know what questions you have so we can answer them for you. So again, my name is George Moorhead with Bentley Properties. We've been practicing for about 27 years, and we have closed over 2,000 transactions, both residential and commercial. We're going to bring you some really great insights. We're going to give some sellers some heads up, things to do, what not to do, really to best put yourself out there in the market for our buyers today. So with that, let's kind of get on with the first 2 questions are kind of the same. So the first question is George, is it smart to purchase a home in and where the pandemic is today? Which then question number 2 is a seller question. And it says, is it smart to sell your home in the current situation? Well, hey, let's take a look at the metrics. Let's take a look at what is real today and let's figure it out. Okay, so as of June, number of homes for sale month over month, we're up 0.8%. On new on market, we're up 32.2%. And pended, a whopping 35.5. But look at this. Now that is a number, right? That is month over month. So from May 1 to May 13th, I get it right this time, to June 1 to June 13th, we're up 53.8% in closed sales, month over month, closed sales. Now, they said that May's numbers didn't kind of crack out that well. Well, remember, that's an April month because it takes that lag. Remember, on sales, we're always looking in that rearview mirror. So we're always seeing that lag. So if you go under contract to say the middle of May, normally the average closing today, 30 days, that takes you to the middle of June. So we're always seeing a lag. Whereas the for sale, new on market, and pending, again, those are dynamic. Those are real time numbers. And they help us with, you guessed it, trend. So when we go over year to date, look at this. That is a whopper of a number. Our for sale homes that are available on the market right now is down 40.6%. Now, well, look at that. We're actually down 14.8% on new homes coming on market. In the last 24 hours, I was going to print this off, but for some reason, Microsoft does not like me today. They have done an update, and now it keeps telling me that the file format doesn't work when I'm here at the Bothell office. I should have printed it while I was at the Bellevue office this morning, but I thought, what problems could I possibly run into? And like Facebook today, they changed the format, so I was a couple minutes late figuring it out. Anyway, we did. But anyway, we're down 14.8% year to date. Well, that's actually pretty good considering we're down 40% on available homes for sale. But wait, it gets better. Pended are only down 9.3% year over year. Now remember, last year was a crazy spring market because the interest rates, went from 4.75%, 5%, boom, dove all the way down into the high 3s. And when we take a look at this, I thought I'd bring it a little bit closer. There we go. Let me turn it up right. And Marie will post this for you. So you can see last year, this is where we were at. But look at the number of homes that were for sale. And then take a look at the number of solds. When you come across, we're actually selling a greater portion of homes than homes available. So understand this. Our market actually year over year is better. And for sellers, it's even better yet. Why? Because our inventory is down 40% year over year. Our sales are only down 12.6%. Listings are down 40, sales only off 12.6. Now, is that going to change when we get our numbers in July for June, and towards the end of June when we get them truly what our market did in May? Yes. Now, our numbers continue to spike. Here's something that's really interesting, because the red line, I'm going to see if I can get this for you guys. And again, this will be posted. If you see the red line there and the blue line is new on market. The red line are pending sales. Notice it's not kind of that gradual slope, man. It is a peak. It is like Mount Everest. It is going way up, which says we have a massive amount of activity that is truly starting to happen. So in the last 24 hours, 395 sellers came on market. That's Pierce, King, and Snohomish County. There were 350 pending sales. I had to cheat. I couldn't remember. And then we had a total of 304 homes that closed just in the last 24 hours. So if you're asking, is our market doing incredibly well? The answer is yes. Because as you can see, even though our inventory is down, which for sellers, that's a great news, because all of our sales are up. So the sellers are getting a perfect storm. Plus, interest rates today dipped down from last week. You might remember 3.25 last week. Said, yeah, I expect it to dip back down. It did, 3.125. Non-owner occupied, 4.125. Those are all with no points. Now you might say, okay, George, but what does that really translate to? That translates to year over year, you have a better chance of selling your home by 2.5%. Last week, it was 2.3. Based on the numbers that we're seeing, and if it continues this trend, next week, we'll probably be closer to about 2.8 to 3% greater chance of selling your home year over year. And again, last year, we didn't have a pandemic. People were not stuck at home. But we are this year. But yet we are still doing better, all things considered. That's pretty amazing. All right. So that kind of answers question 1 and 2. Is it a good time to buy? The answer is absolutely yes. And in fact, we're throwing out a chart here shortly that talks about the difference between pricing last year as far as interest rates and pricing this year. And we start off with a price, and then, well, what if the market went down 5%, but actually it went up 6.2% year over year as far as average appreciation. And it shows you the difference. And it boils down to, had you bought at last year's interest rates versus today's interest rates, the interest paid over a 5-year window was $103,000 in additional interest. Huh. Well, that's pretty impressive. So with that being considered, let's move on. All right. So is now a good time to buy a house, financially speaking? Without a doubt. Interest rates are low. Now is the perfect time. There's a lot of loan programs that are coming back into play. Some of them that were halted. As an example, when we talk about jumbo loans, loans that were over Fannie and Freddie's conventional lending guidelines, which was like 741, 43, 49, 740 something thousand. All right. Anything that was above that, a lot of lenders had stopped. And it was because of the risk. Okay. Because remember, loans are based on risk. Those are now absolutely back in play. And in fact, some of the first-time buyer programs, and including the grant programs, are coming back online, and some are already online. So there is still that massive ability for you to be able to get financing, and the normal programs are back. Moving on. How has the coronavirus affected home prices? Well, 3 weeks ago, we brought out the Chase-Shiller report that mirrored what we had been saying all year long. And as they said, it took them a while because they have to gather all the metrics and whatnot. Something, again, that you guys see in real time. So here's the funny thing. Year over year, we saw a 6.2 appreciation. year over year. So I'm going to say, Corona did not adversely affect home prices. It is still a seller's market. We only have 1.6 months of inventory when it should be 4 to 6 months for a balanced market. It is absolutely, without a doubt, a seller's market. Look at last week's video. We delve into that more. All right. Let's see, will there be more stringent measures to be followed in getting pre-approved with the pandemic, and if it would make owning a home more difficult for a first-time home buyer? All right. Now, in the beginning, so March and April, end of March, because I think it went under towards the end of March and April, yes, without a doubt, it had an impact because some of those programs didn't exist. However, in the last 30 days, most of those programs have opened up, especially in the last 2 weeks. There's a lot of first-time homebuyer programs that are out there. You can go to WashingtonHomeGrant.com, take a look at some of the programs that are there, and you'll just, so if you need help with the down payment as a first-time homebuyer, or if you haven't owned a home in 3 years, you can do the same thing. Just understand, yes, now is still an absolutely fabulous time. When we talk about, let's see here, question number 6, how will the market cope with a possible recession, considering that consumers will most likely lose their buying power? Okay. Well, that's a really good question. And here's the thing. Historically, minus the Great Recession, our recessions typically last 8 months, and the longest ones, are around 16 months. Normally about 12 months. Is there going to be a recession? Guys, I have no idea. All of the metrics that we are seeing, there's a lot of ebb and flow in the market right now. I do not have a PhD in economics. My gut feel is, because again, we're the number 2 market across the United States for appreciation, because we are very insulated, because we do have a very broad, employment base as far as different industries, we tend to be a little bit more insulated. Even during the Great Recession, we were very insulated compared to a lot of other markets. We were number 5, and at times number 2, number 1, because it changed every week. So are we a little more insulated? The answer is yes. Will things get back to normal? Yes. Or what is going to be the new normal? Yes. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. But do I see and forecast something absolutely catastrophic? The answer is no. So to answer this question, if we see a small recession, which would be 12 months or less, no, I don't expect it to be very significant at all. As far as home buyers, in order to start seeing a difference in pricing, we're going to have to increase the amount of inventory. Because we only have really 1/3 of the inventory that we should have for a balanced market, that needs to change. And as we see that shift change, funny enough, if interest rates don't go up, first-time home buyers are going to come back into the market, which is normally our sign of recovery. And I see that happening short term. So that's my 2 cents. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Now, in the beginning of this, I said we're going to talk about how sellers can be more effective in today's market. What does it take to be effective? And the really awesome part is that Ben and JC, they have absolutely embraced this, as they are doing the things they need to get their home in just absolutely amazing shape for the buyer pools out there, right? Higher end home. We also have Jared and Serain, who did an absolutely bang up job in doing what it took to get their home, which was, out in Lake Joy. And the impression that was left with all of the buyers was it was stellar. And who would have thought that, they would have had an amazing offer within the first 4 days with multiple offers. That's awesome. Now, you take the inverse of that and you talk about the people who don't take the time to prepare their home, to do the small details. Those are the people that are going to lag. Why? Because the first 7 days on market are absolutely critical, because the buyers who come out to your house are going to be, well, serious. You don't have looky-loos coming out in today's climate with the pandemic. Only serious people. So you need to make sure that your home is spot on and there's no false starts. How do we do that? We use the magic board. All right. We have the three seller musts that you must do, non-negotiable if you want to hit the market, unless of course you just completely underprice yourself and you drive massive traffic, which is not really a great idea because then that brings way too many unqualified people in your home. You need to be pricing correct, but not overpricing. All right, pricing it right. Hey, look at that. Remember, there are three reasons a home doesn't sell, right? Price, location, and condition. Okay, which floor plan kind of goes with that. And those two kind of come back to price. Pricing it right is absolutely critical. As you can see, the first 7 days are critical. After the first 7 days of your home coming on market, it's almost crickets. Buyers have already seen it. The ones that are interested in your home are going to come out, and then you're going to get a couple of stragglers. Okay? Because here's the thing, statistically speaking, if your home sells within the first 7 days, you're going to get between 100 and 107% of list price. If you miss that mark and you go out to 20 days, you're going to look at 98, 96% of list price. If you miss that mark and you go out to 40 days, you're going to look at only 92 to 93% of list price. So understand, price and time on market are directly proportional. So don't mess it up. Sentimental equity, I can say it here because I'm not standing in front of somebody trying to explain it. Sentimental equity. You know, if you've grown up in the house, oh, this is my house, or this is my parents, oh, we raised our kids here, oh, we grew those trees. You know, oh, look at all the work that I put into this home and everything else. That's called sentimental equity. And I'm so sorry to tell you, there's zero value in that because the buyer doesn't have that emotional attachment. Remove your emotional attachment when you're considering price. Please, please, please spare yourself the pain, save yourself literally tens of thousands of dollars, and make sure that you are pricing it correctly. Remove the emotion. I know it's hard. Okay. Even me personally, I have fallen into the trap. You must remove yourself and make a good business decision because it translates into dollars the longer you are on market. Now, pricing it right, number one, prepare. Guys, listen, you need to stage your home. Even if you use your personal things, you need to stage your home so that people have clear walking paths, that it is appealing so that buyers can envision their things there, right? Clean it. I cannot tell you enough how important it is. The best part is many of the homes that we have been through recently, they've done a bang up job, absolutely bang up job. And it is awesome to see that. With that, remove all your personal items, especially the little knickknacks that the little ones like to grab onto. Well, we don't see little ones coming through houses right now, but make sure that you depersonalize the house. Don't you don't want people like myself, you know, walking through and say, "Oh, that is such a great picture," because that's not what you want to focus on. You want to focus on the house. Depersonalize your home. The next thing, smells and repairs. Now, listen, you might go in and say, "Oh my gosh, I just love the way my house smells." It's like some people, you know, they'll have like 20 of those vanilla air fresheners in their car, and you get in here and you're like, "Wow, you can cut it with a knife." No, guys, you can't do that. I'm glad that you like it. I think that's awesome, but it could be offensive to another person. So if you have a bunch of those little smelly wick things, hey, reconsider it. I just highly recommend it. You've acclimated to it, but for us that have not been through your home, we can smell it. Same thing goes with pet odors and cat boxes and smoking and stuff. Make it go away. Okay. You guys do a deep clean on your house because when buyers come in and we talk about the repairs, you know, don't do small touch ups, paint a wall, paint the entire wall. We can see touch ups. Paint the entire wall. Do not make your house look like a fixture when they come in. You might say, "George, my house is not a fixture." And I'll say, "Okay, but listen, If they look at it and they say, well, I need to do this, I need to touch up this, and well, yeah, I need to replace this carpet. There's a lot of tracking marks here and a few stains, and well, now you know what? There's a little bit of damage on this wall over here. Look, that in their mind that starts to become a fixer, and it ka-chinks, ka-chinks, ka-chinks on your price and the motivation. And unless you're getting multiple offers, which fortunately we are on a lot of homes right now, just like we did in 2017, it's going to affect that value. It affects the desirability of that home with the buyer. Mitigate those things. Take the extra effort. Do not shortcut. Do not step over dollars to pick up pennies. You know, if you need to clean your windows, you got an amazing view, clean your windows. Why? Because people look at it. And if they see that everything is clean, that gives a different perception. They see themselves more in this home. It's kind of like your landscaping. I think I have it down here. Where is it? Someplace. Oh, yeah, tame your landscaping. Okay. It's spring. Yes, it's been raining. Tame it back. Do not give somebody the perception when they walk in. Well, we walked into a property, it was overwhelming. It was like, oh my gosh, this person is, and they're like, yeah, I'm a master gardener. And it scared them because they're like, they're seeing dollar signs. Oh my gosh, how do I maintain this? You must tame it back. You must make it as you know that the perception. If it's easier to maintain, make it show that it's easier to maintain. Take that extra 2 hours and just get it done. Hire it out. Yes, I know landscapers are hard. BentleyContractors.com will give you some help on vetted contractors. Go take a look at it. All right, moving on. Marketing. Okay, here's the thing, guys. This is the next biggest one, and even more critical today. Do not shortcut your marketing. The key thing is, and this is what you have to have in mind, when you're doing your marketing, while you are prepping your home, you must solve a buyer's problem. I know that is a paradigm shift. People are like, what? Yes. The whole reason a buyer is out there is to solve a problem, whether it's a home that they don't have to rent anymore, whether it's size, maybe it's a yard, maybe it's location, whatever it is. Solve that problem for the buyer. Your marketing needs to solve a buyer's problem to attract the greatest number of buyers coming in. That's the whole thing, right? Well, most of it. So when you do that, 3D tours, absolutely awesome. If you need some referrals, we'll post them up there. But 3D tours are the most amazing. If you want to see what one looks like, we can show you dozens of them. It is the coolest thing ever, and you don't need special goggles or anything. Literally, you can look up, look down, look around, literally walk through the entire house. Okay. We have a rare Bellevue duplex / single family home that's coming on market in the next few days. We did a 3D tour, sent it off to the seller. The seller was like, that is the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, I know, right? Because you literally can walk through a house without ever even visiting the house. The best part is once you go to the house, you're like, man, this is just like it showed. Exactly. Don't shortcut marketing your home. Aerial videos. Okay. So aerial videos are a great idea as long as you're able to highlight the property. But if you're in a row of tract homes, maybe not a great idea because it can have the exact opposite effect. So make sure that if you're going to do an aerial video, what is the purpose of it? Is it going to add value or take away value? All right. So keep that in mind. High quality pics. All right. Our phones are getting very, very fancy. And in fact, my Note 9, because I can tweak and play, we can do some amazing things with video or with photographs. All right. And at times, some of those pictures are great. However, do not have dark, bad, dim, dingy, pictures. And unfortunately, there's some folks that that have posted some of those pictures, and I'll send them a quick note saying, hey, you need to lighten these pictures. Hey, try and get one on a sunny day. Do something to we try and help them say, hey, this is the perception that we were given. Now's the time to change it, right? Try and update this picture to have a better impression for your client. and they're very receptive of it. And sometimes they don't realize it, but make sure you've got nice, bright, high res, quality pictures that are capturing and telling a story that needs to be told to solve the buyer's problem. Okay? Because otherwise, understand, if 90% of the people are looking at homes online, it's actually 92%, and they start dismissing it because of picture quality, it's just a disservice. Make sure that you got really great high quality pictures. Okay, use an emotional description. Tell a story. You should be telling a story. I don't need you to tell me that it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, it's 2,500 square feet. I can read that. Tell me a story. Okay, absolutely amazing. First time on market. No, that doesn't tell a story. You need to tell a story when you're trying to describe, again, to create an emotional picture. All right. Okay. Street appeal goes back to the tame your landscaping. Add some color to it. Make sure you tame the beast. These are the 3 absolutely critical things you must do as a seller today if you're going out on market within the Northwest MLS, out to the general public. Off market sales, um, this one's important, and these are not. So if you're interested in an off market sale, sellingoffmarket.com is a site you should take a look at. Regardless, pricing it right is. Buyers are incredibly smart these days. There's a lot of metrics that people get to take a look at. Some of them accurate and some of them not. But the fact is that they look at it, right? So if you have any questions, post them up there for us. We will absolutely respond to you. There's no strings attached. So remember, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. And stay safe out there. It's going to be a little rainy today. In the meantime, take care.